Honorable Chair, all of these audit reforms are part of our broader 5-point priority reform and legacy agenda, BIR DARES, which stand for Digital and Data Transformation, Audit Reform and Accountability, Revenue Collection and Base Protection, Employee Empowerment and Welfare Promotion, and Service Excellence and Stakeholder Engagement. Through DARES, we are contributing to the government's big, bold reforms to improve the ease of doing business and strengthen trust in government. And with these reforms, we assure the committee and the Filipino people the BIR audit system is being strengthened. Standards are clear and accountability is enforced. We also recognize that reform is not static. The resumption of audits under this framework is part of a phased and continuing process. As implementation proceeds, we will keep listening, monitor outcomes, and refine our measures where necessary. We welcome the continued guidance and support of this committee as we carry these reforms forward. Honorable Chair, this concludes our presentation. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Mendoza. Before I yield the floor to my colleagues, first, let me thank you personally for the reforms that you have instituted. But in fairness to the former BIR commissioners, one of whom is present here, I invited former Commissioner Kim Henares, but apparently she's not around. So we'd like to hear the comment of former Commissioner Lumagi. If you have some comments on the reforms being that were presented by the new commissioner.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning to the members of the committee. Well, first, my only comments are that I think the reforms made are comprehensive enough and addresses a lot of issues that surround the or apparent abuse of LOAs. I also agree specifically with the abolition of the VAT audit units because last year I was also supposed to abolish the VAT audit section and VAT audit units for this year. So that is one good development because it will absolve the taxpayers of the issuance of multiple LOAs. So that is really a necessary and a big help to all the taxpayers. And from I think the reforms cover again comprehensive enough from the procedure to the accountability. Kaya po maganda naman po yung mga reforms na nagawa. And hopefully, and ang pinakamaganda rin po dyan na narinig ko po na sinabi that they will still continue to listen to all suggestions as they implement the programs that are being put into place because importante po yung taxpayer engagement. And that is also why during my time po, in-establish po natin yung multi-sectoral partnership agreement because we also really have to listen to the taxpayers. Kaya naman po maganda rin po yung magiging aksyon na pakikinggan and marami pong channels where the taxpayers can contact the Bureau with respect to different issues. So yun lang po, maganda po yung reforms na nailatag po. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Lumagi. Ang isang talagang key para maiwasan yung corruption, di ba, transparency. And obviously, yun yung thrust ng inyong reforms because yun nga, yung taxpayer open sa public yung inyong website, no? Ang isang tanong ko, which I also asked yesterday, hindi ba nakalink ito sa egov.ph? Kasi yun ang alam ng mga kababayan natin, pag nagta-travel, doon agad pumupunta. Then from egov, hanap ka lang ng NGA, LGU, and so forth and so on. So I would suggest na instead of, parang standalone yung inyong website, i-link nyo na rin doon sa egov, no?
Yes,
Commissioner.
Yeah. Actually, nakalink na po, Mr. Chair.
Nakalink na? Yeah. When did you do it? Kasi kahapon parang hindi pa.
Link talaga.
So pag nagpunta sa EGOB for other purposes, pwede ring magpunta sa BIR website.
Yeah. Nakalink po sa website namin,
Yeah,
Mr.
okay.
Chair.
So ang isa pang key yung, of course, minimize or eliminate human intervention, di ba? Kasi it seems that napapunta kayo sa digitalization. Ilan yung naiwan na may human intervention pa, may human contact? Ilang percent?
As of now, Mr. Chair, the previously issued letters of authority that are still active at the time we suspended the audit is around 45,000 letters of authority. But these are subject to consolidation, Mr. Chair, unless the taxpayer requests otherwise.
So sa ngayon, sa issuance at saka yung pagpirma sa LOAs, ilan na lang yung authorized?
Ngayon po ang
Kasi ang unang narinig ko, ikaw na lang authorized na mag-sign or mag-issue ng LOA?
Yeah, hindi po. Ngayon po, under the new rules, the auditees, the taxpayers to be audited will have to be chosen by the system. So the core criteria for choosing the taxpayers to be audited are already embedded in the system. So ito pong system ang maglalabas ng mga taxpayers na i-audit. And then, i-approve po ng Commissioner of Internal Revenue. At kapag in-approve ko po, ay ibababa po ito sa mga revenue regions or sa large taxpayer service. Anonymous pa po at that point for assignment of the auditors and the group supervisors. And then iaakyat po uli sa amin so that we will anonymize. And then saka po ibababa uli sa revenue regions for issuance of the letters of authority by the regional director or by the large taxpayer service. So dalawa na lang po generally ang makakapirma sa letter of authority, yung large taxpayer service ang magkakandak or yung revenue region or yung regional director po. Or kung merong fraud, yung National Investigation Division or yung RID depending on the threshold.
Kasi the first time I heard na only the commissioner is authorized to sign, sabi ko ma-overwhelmed. Wala nang gagawin yung commissioner kundi magpirma. Imagine, 45,000 ba yan?
Yun po ang currently
Yun ang
active
bilang,
open
di ba?
LAs
So
namin.
nagulat ako when I heard from Senator Tulfo, sabi niya, maganda yung reform kasi commissioner na lang magsasign. Wala nang gagawin yung commissioner kundi mag-sign ng LOA. So that's good kasi parang bar exams, hindi nyo alam kung sino yung examiner, hindi rin alam kung sino yung kukuha ng bar exams, di ba? Parang coded, sabi mo nga, anonymous. So hindi magkakaalaman. So ano yung possible loophole na sinabi ko lang bar exam kasi kapapasa ng anak ko eh. Kaya, anyway, yon. Ano na lang yung mga loopholes na pwede nyo makita?
Yung procedures, yung reforms namin ngayon, Mr. Chair, ito po ay kinonsider namin extensively yung comments and suggestions ng various stakeholders. And this was subjected also to public consultation. As much as possible, we did our best to come up with a policy that will measure up to what the public hopes to expect from us, which is transparency and predictability and fairness. I think ang bigger challenge po dito is the actual implementation. And that is where the challenge is now. We have to make sure that all our revenue regions, our unit in the national office should be able to implement this consistently and according to the letter of the rules at wala pong unnecessary exercise of discretion. So ang tututukan po namin dito sa mga darating na araw ay ang actual implementation.
We'll now yield the floor to first the Vice Chairman. And when I reclaim my time, ang tatanungin ko lang, ang focus ko lang doon sa audit process flow. No? Diyan ko gusto mag-focus, so kindly prepare for that. So Senator Irwin, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Commissioner, ang tanong ho natin, pakipaliwanag ko. So, yung LOA po will be generated, automatic po yun from the system. Tapos pipirmahan nyo na, aprobahan nyo, and then ibababa nyo po. So, actually, ang system na po ang mamimili because may nakita siya na may deficiency doon sa pagbabayad ng tax ng isang business. Is that correct? to my
Tama po yun, Mr.
understanding.
Chair. Yung system na po ang pipili ng iyo audit sapagkat may nakita siya doon sa mga records ng taxpayer na nasa system din po.
Tapos, aaprubahan ninyo kung, and then ibababa sa regional office
Ibababa
ninyo?
po muna para mag-assign ng examiners at ng group supervisor. And then iaakyat po sa amin to de-anonymize. And then saka po ibababa uli para sa issuance na kapag pirma ng letter of authority either ng regional director or ng assistant commissioner.
So doon pa lang ho sa pag-audit, maiwasan ho yung human intervention ng mga RDO kasi ito po ang pangunahing problema dati. Ang RDO lang po ang tumitingin, papasok po sa mga auditors niya. This time, yung system na po ang titingin kung sino po ang may problema, may questionabling pagbabayad ng buwis. Yung system po ang gagawa ng report tsaka po ibibigay ho sa inyo?
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
All right. My next question, sir, is that we speak of audit reforms, pero yung question po, the harder question is, may nanagot po ba? Ang dami nating pinadalang LOA. Base po dito sa files po namin, doon sa LOA po na naipadala po dati, 1% lang ang nakaabot sa DOJ, ang nakasuhan. And then, wala, mas lesser pa po sa Court of Tax Appeals. Ang tanong ho natin dyan, may way forward din po ba kayo na para hindi na po maulit o sufficient itong reforms ninyo para maiwasan na po itong areglo, etc.?
Well, maliwanag po na nakalagay sa ating RMO na ang mga kawani ng BIR na hindi susunod sa mga bagong panuntunan ay mananagot, makakasuhan sila either administratively, civilly, or criminally. But meron din po kami mga ongoing investigations of BIR personnel. As of now ho, meron kaming 30 employees that are undergoing investigation. In fact, yung 25 po sa kanila ay meron ng formal charge.
Another question po before I yield the floor back to our chairman. Meron po bang kasama na reshuffle or transfer kasi po hindi po komportable ang ilang negosyante? May reforms nga po. Ang may nakarating ho sa akin, kinakabahan siya na baka isipin daw po ng RDO siya yung nagsumbong sa amin